Education was a ministry of efficiency. When we were there, Jerlene John, myself, we gave out 100 homes per week. The Ministry of Housing was a ministry of efficiency. When we were there, we built 9 police stations. The Ministry of National Security was a ministry of efficiency. We built 4 hospitals and started 2 more because the Ministry of Health was a ministry of efficiency. We don't need a ministry of efficiency. Under a UNC government, every ministry is a ministry of efficiency. And we did all of that because we had men and women of competence, men and women of skills and expertise. We didn't have Fitzgerald Hines. You know they moved Fitzgerald Hines, huh? The most incompetent minister this country ever see. They move him. They put him in the office of the Prime Minister. I understand his office is a broom closet. And in the closet with him is 2 mop, a broom, and a Clorox. They put him in a broom closet in the office of the Prime Minister, hiding him away from the people. But you must remember 5,000 murders over 9.5 years under Hines, Stuart Young, and Rowley. Don't forget that. Saddam told you recently they took your taxpayers' money. You cannot get insulin in the hospital. They take thousands of dollars to buy FET tickets for a PNM FET. Brothers and sisters, you remember that? Remember that. Today, I want to tell you quickly about a major scandal that has erupted in this country. You know, over the years, Rowley and Stuart Young and so on used to accuse members of the UNC of having gang friends and criminal friends and all them kind of thing. Did you see a headline in the Sunday Express? Look, I have the whole big Express here. Look at here. Secret deals and dirty money. This is a headline in the Sunday Express. This headline, I don't have time to read the article for you, but this speaks to the involvement of a high government official with very notorious, allegedly criminal elements across the continents of Europe, North America, and elsewhere. A minister, an official of government linked to notorious characters in deals. Do you know a few minutes ago, just about 2 hours ago, a minister of government by the name of Adrian Leons, he is the Minister of Housing. He issued a statement. He said, in case all you're wondering, it's me. He said, in case all you're wondering, it's me. I am that person. Minister Leons was handpicked by Stuart Young. His first job was appointing a cabinet. Stuart Young knew of the alleged involvement between Minister Leons and others. He knew of that. He was on the National Security Council, and he appointed him Minister of Housing. That speaks of a treasonable level of judgment. His judgment could be, you could accuse his judgment of treason. That Stuart Young, in 24 hours, he was Prime Minister with a parliament. He appointed a man who he knew there were serious allegations. I cast no aspersions on Minister Leons. I don't know. Left or right, I don't know. But I know what I read, and I read what he said. And he said, it is me. I formed a partnership, a deal with an individual who he says he later discovered that law enforcement had identified that person. That speaks to Stuart Young. He has no judgment if he can put persons like this in the cabinet of Trinidad and Tobago. He has none. Camille Robinson-Regis, the Attorney General now, the Attorney General, she knew of it. He was a junior minister. In September 2023, he registered a company to make money. You are minister of government. You cannot be involved in any business at all. Your business is the people, the cabinet. You park up your business when you become a minister. You know, Leons registered a company with a character in England. When he said, well, I do that because I needed an address and I didn't have none. And then he said, 94-year-old grandmother live in England, so you couldn't use grandma address. You could have used grandma address, she lived there. But he's now trying to tell you he didn't know nothing about that. But Stuart Young knew, Camille knew. She ought to know that her junior minister was in business. Tonight I asked whether Adrian Leons declared to the Integrity Commission, that company. whether he declared it to the Integrity Commission, and failure to do that is a breach of the Integrity in Public Life Act. Failure to do that. And the Integrity Commission must investigate that matter. And Camille, you are the Attorney General. You knew that. You knew what he was doing. They say she went recently, yesterday or day before, and she paid up she dues, she lawyer dues, Anil. $47,000 plus 10, $57,000. She paid in cash? I don't know. Did she make a withdrawal from Republic Bank to pay the judiciary? Was it in cash? But the lawyers, as Saddam will remind you, and other lawyers, brilliant UNC lawyers here, will tell you that they are entities for the Financial Intelligence Unit, and the law is concerned with what is called source of funds for attorneys at law. So tonight we ask Camille, where you get the money from? You withdraw it from Republic Bank this time again? It wasn't in cash. You pay with the credit card. You pay in cash. How did you pay that? Overnight, $57,000, brothers and sisters. And Leonce will not get off the hook. He's the Minister of Housing. You all understand how fascinating this man is? He says since 2023, he had a feeling he's not going back. So he wanted to start business because he thought he's not going back. And he registered a company for business. He wanted to get back into construction, engineering, and so on. And then he discovered that the fellow who he registered business, the fellow is a little shaky. He says, see me, I done with that. Throw away that company. These are fellows who run in your country, my country. We cannot have that, brothers and sisters. So for this election, April 28, we have to mobilize. I call upon you. Mobilize your home. Mobilize your street. Mobilize your village. Mobilize your community. Mobilize your society. And come out overwhelmingly and vote for the United National Congress. When the UNC wins, everybody wins. When the UNC wins, everybody wins. Brothers and sisters, we'll have much more to say in the coming days, but I want to remind you, do not take Mama Guy from these people. They are coming down to the end. They are coming down to the end of their term. They are desperate. They will come back and talk about the UNC term and what we do and what we didn't do. As Philip Watts told us the other night, we are taking that tonight. We're not taking that. The UNC served for 5 long years. We built hospitals, community centers, schools, universities. When you drive this country, everything you see of major infrastructure is the United National Congress. Everything, everything. Everything, man. When you are in San Fernando, this is San Fernando. I born and grew up in San Fernando. I never come Naparima, but I born and grew up here. I knew how to come Naps one day, to talk. So brothers and sisters, San Fernando, the last time San Fernando had a major development project was the San Fernando Teaching Hospital by up on the promenade there, high up. That's the last major project. 10 years now they're talking about a waterfront project, a stone throw away from here. If you go there now, you see 2 stray dogs and a crapo. Grass growing on the highway. Fellas just come out in the evening to play small goal on the highway. They have done nothing. Faris Alwari moves around with a big towel in the pocket and pump up chests and so on. Talk about the waterfront project. There is no waterfront project. Nothing has happened. The same fella who's selling bake, a buljol, a fry egg, and Milo, he's still there now and he was there 40 years ago. There is no development in San Fernando, no facilities. Look what we did. We built a hospital in San Fernando, and we were not the MPs and so on then, not all. We didn't have everything then. So brothers and sisters, I want you to remember, tell your family, your friends, when the UNC wins, everybody wins. We built sporting facilities. We built it all. Today they are getting desperate. Saddam told you about the Fed tickets. There's another letter circulating, on Plipdeco, in which the chairman of Plipdeco it is alleged, I think is a woman, she's telling people, push projects, do this project, do that project, because we have to make the PNM look good. They're saying the letter is fake, but how we know the letter is fake? They sell P&M ticket, you know. They buy P&M ticket and telling me the letter fake. They are party group, Flip Deco. And tonight we want to call them out. Their time is limited, it's coming to an end. And they must resist the temptation to do the dirty work of the P&M. On that note, I want to remind you, brothers and sisters, that the security infrastructure has also collapsed. The fire services, if you go to Mayaro, we built a brand new fire station there. You know, don't have a single fire brigade, nothing there, nothing. If you go to Pinal, brand new fire station, not a single working fire appliance. If something happens to people in Mayaro, where the fire truck coming from? Where? It has to come from Naparima to go Mayaro. That is the sorry state that we exist today. So brothers and sisters, our message tonight is clear. We must vote for the United National Congress. All candidates of the UNC, all candidates of the People's Empowerment Party, all candidates of the Coalition of Interest. We must vote for them to have an overwhelming victory at the polls. Long live the United National Congress. Long live the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Long live Mrs. Kamla Prasad-Bissessar. Thank you and God bless you.
When UNC wins, everybody wins. When UNC wins, Trinbago wins. Trinbago wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins.
UNC family, make some noise for the Lion of Oropouche East. Kamla Prasad-Bissessar, the UNC, and the Coalition of Interest have the PNM so rattled. The PNM bullying PNM, PNM firing PNM, Rhoda run off the air because Colm getting bullied, because Small Pen bully Colm, Foster get bullied and lost Gadsby. Everybody bullying and bullying, and then Marvin and Scotland just sitting down laughing and liming together. We do not accept bullying. When you hear a story about Imran Khan, what we have to do as parents, as fathers, as mothers, as uncles, as aunties, as grandparents, is picture our beloved child in a school that he earned his way there to be through hard work, studying, and passing exams. Not because his daddy had money, not because his daddy donated to the school, not because his daddy was on the board. And this child, your child, my child, dress up nice, put on school uniform, go on with shoes and socks, for a Small Pen to bully him, not for one day, not for one incident, but for 5 long years. 5 years is a sentence you get for armed robbery. And when that was done, Small Pen continues now today to bully even those inside the party. We will not let Small Pen or the PNM bully our nation, because Kamla Prasad-Bissessar, the OWTU, the PEP, the Coalition of Interest will defeat the bullies. The people will defeat the bullies. I bring to you now to introduce our first slew of candidates, my co-host, the Honorable Mikey K.
Everybody wins. When UNC wins.
Thank you, Anil. Thank you. Folks, let me make this announcement. The owners of vehicle PEG 4873 and PBD 8191, please attend to your vehicle as quickly as possible. PEG 4873 and PBD 8191. And once again, please, let's keep the aisles and the passageway clear. Let me make mention, of course, to the MPs that are with us here tonight. Pleasant good evening. Councillors, NATEX members, and of course, our special guest, I want to mention JTEM President, Comrade Roger. Professor Selwyn Kojo. and former government minister, Mr. Jack Warner. Yes, indeed. Well, folks, let's start with our first candidate this evening. Is anyone here from Barataria, San Juan? Is Barataria, San Juan representing? All right, Barataria, you're talking about a man who's a fearless and fiery advocate for the people. UNC family, please put your hands together for our UNC candidate for Barataria, San Juan, Saddam Hussein.
Everybody wins when UNC wins. Trinbago wins. Trinbago wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. Your neighbor, tell your friend, now is the time to rise and shine. Tell your mother, tell your
Let's
father.
continue. Anybody representing Chaguanas East? Chaguanas East. Make some noise for your candidate, Vandana Mohit.
UNC wins, everybody wins. When UNC wins, Trinbago wins. Trinbago wins. Everybody wins.
And right here in San Fernando West, are you here? San Fernando West, make some noise for your candidate, Dr. Michael Dolak.
When UNC wins, everybody wins. When UNC wins, Trinbago wins. Trinbago wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins.
San Fernando East. San Fernando East. Oh, you know this young man. You know this young man. He's popular. Gonna hear some more noise than that. Give it up for the man, John Michael Ali Bocas.
UNC wins, everybody wins. When UNC wins, Trinbago wins. Trinbago wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins.
Ah, yes. A young lady who was a doctor. She made it clear. She became a doctor to save lives and now a politician to save our blessed country, Trinidad and Tobago. Aruka Lopino, please put your hands together for Dr. Natalie Chaitan Maharaj.
Everybody wins. When UNC wins, Trinbago wins. Trinbago wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins.
An assistant coach, a man who is always involved with the young people in sports, Trin City Maloney. Make some noise for your candidate, Richard Smith.
UNC wins, everybody wins. When UNC wins, Trinbago wins. Trinbago wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. Tell your neighbor, tell your friend, now is the time to rise and shine. Tell your mother, tell your father, now is the time to decide.
And of course, the man himself, the smooth operator, your candidate for Arangua St. Joseph, attorney at law. Make some noise for Devish Maharaj.
When UNC wins, everybody wins. When UNC wins, Trinbago wins. Trinbago wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. If you want leaders who can build, place your ex by the rising sun. If you want leaders who can lead.
And now bringing on stage a prominent criminal defense attorney, and he's been working from day one when he got the nod in Sandy Grande. Toko Sandy Grande, are you here? Make some noise for your candidate, Win Sturge.
When UNC wins, everybody wins. When UNC wins, Trinbago wins. Trinbago wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins.
hand you back over to my co-host, Senator Arnold Roberts.
When UNC wins,
You know the funny thing? I listening to some of them PNM campaigning. Small pin, Stuart Small pin start off. Well, now I'm going to reform education. Bollier wasn't in charge 9.5 years. I'm going to bring technology for agriculture. Where you was for 9.5 years while your brother company was getting $5 billion. Oh, he's going to come now to prevent bullying. But you're bullying your whole life. Our next one going up in Kamuto Manzanilla, a PNM, you know, in a red jersey. And he started to say, boy, how they leave the schools, they didn't finish it, it's a disgrace. And how the road bad, and we had no water, and there was a PNM, you know. Oh yeah, help the PNM, vote them out. Kamala Prasad Bisesa, they tried to bully her as Prime Minister from inside and outside. The PNM mass media tried to bully her and never gave her praise. As leader of the opposition, they tried to bully her. Rowley tried to bully her. Smallpin tried to bully her. Imba tried to bully her. And she stands strong in their face by herself, showing them who is real leader. We stand with Kamala. We stand with our woman, and a strong woman who works harder than any human being. I thought I could work hard because I swimming for this country since 1977, waking up and training at 4:45 a.m., then going to school and training again in the afternoon, plus doing football. But when I meet this lady, I just duck, I just hide sometimes, because this lady don't stop. She believes in her country. She believes in Trinidad and Tobago. She believes in her party. She believes in her leader. And she works for you, the people. Please welcome the Honorable Deputy Political Leader, Jolene.
Hurry up and come, hurry up and come, hurry up and come, cause Babylon done. I home is not in Babylon, Mount Zion is I home. And you see, any day from now, I didn't know. Calling on Rastaman, no more will I and I roam. Hurry up and come, hurry up and come, hurry up and come, cause Babylon done. Hurry up and come, hurry up and come, hurry up and come, cause Babylon done.
Thank you, Honorable Political Leader of the Great United National Congress, Mrs. Kamala Prasad Bisesa and Dr. Bisesa. Members of Parliament, Senators, Chairmen, Councillors, our coalition of interest partners, United National Congress candidates, UNC thousands in the building, UNC thousands outside the building, LHTs here, citizens of Trinidad and Tobago locked on the various media, welcome. Welcome to the biggest, baddest, boldest party in the Caribbean, the United National Congress. Welcome. Cameraman, turn the camera outside and let us see. Let them see what the UNC looks like. UNC, turn to the person next to you and tell them, yellow is the code. Yellow is the code. Look at people. And yet the PNM trolls are busy on social media saying the UNC not ready. UNC, you know we are ready to rumble. Thank you. UNC, you know we are ready to rumble. UNC, are you ready to rumble? UNC, are you ready to win? UNC, are you ready to govern? Yeah, I know you are ready. The PNM had the election date in their back pocket and did not book any ads in the media. Outsmarted themselves by calling the election and the annual ads and now begging the UNC to give them some space in the papers. The PNM was caught in flagrante delicto. They were caught with their pants down. They were unprepared, and they're just as Vike as how they have run this country for the past 10 years. To be clear, the honorable political leader booked and paid for ads in the media. She paid for ads in the media. We knew, as you knew, as the PNM knew, that an election was coming in 2025. That was not a mystery. It is just plain common sense. And that is how Kamala Persad-Bissessar ran this country, and how she will run this country when she becomes Prime Minister again and is sworn in on the 29th of April 2025. Kamala Persad-Bissessar is solution-oriented. Long before the evolution of new technology, KPP Vision for laptops prepared students for the coming of AI. Long before the global pandemic hit, healthcare was at the forefront to mitigate against deaths and to alleviate the suffering of our people. Dr. Munilal just spoke about the teaching hospital. That 216-bed teaching hospital that is 5 minutes from here. The base building was constructed by the Manning's administration. Kamala Persad-Bissessar was walking by in that hospital as Prime Minister. She said too many people are sitting in corridors and waiting for health care. She turned to Dr. Munilal and myself. She said, I want this converted into a hospital. When, Madam Prime Minister? In 18 months. And in 18 months, that hospital bed tower was open. We don't open construction site. We open hospitals, functioning hospitals. That is what we do. Common sense approach. In addition to that, teaching hospital has 40,000 square feet of teaching space downstairs. You know what that is to do? That is to provide training, continuous training for our healthcare professionals. Common sense government. The next step was to convert the existing hospital into a global center of excellence for healthcare. And we were supposed to build a new tower, a new global center of excellence again in terms of a new hospital for the people of San Fernando. And I know after the next election, that will be very high up on the agenda. So be not afraid, be not afraid. After 10 years of the PNM, no new businesses, no new investment, no additional hospital beds, 10 years of your life wasted. Stuart Young was glued and tattooed to Rowley side for 10 years as he sobers, now behave as if he just landed from Mars and he landed on Henry Street. You know, now we from Henry Street. People are vexed when we say, he say from Lal Bihari Trace, but it's what he say. We just repeating what the man said. Suddenly, he has found his roots. Next thing he gonna say, he like Chicken George. He today talks about understanding the struggles of single mothers, like we all didn't see him in the hospital, in the parliament, snaring at our opposition leader when she spoke about giving mothers $500, mothers who are working for under $3,000 a month, $500 per month for 1 year to alleviate their own burden of feeding their child. He said that is populist politics. You see, Stuart Young doesn't know about being hungry. The opposition leader said at the time, she said, I read a newspaper report about the arrest of a poor, desperate mother. She had stolen baby formula in a grocery to feed a hungry child. It broke my heart and haunts me to this day. That is a leader with heart. That is a leader that we need. That is a leader that we want. And that is a leader that we must have. We must have that leader on the 28th of April, 2025. For Young, it is populist politics. He does not understand that the $500 monthly, what it means. He doesn't know what it means for a mother not to eat a meal so her child could eat. He doesn't know what she forgoes so her child could go to school. You see, when he wake up in the morning, he doesn't hear the baby cry. The sugar pan empty and the milk bottle is dry. Young don't know poverty is hell. He doesn't know. And does he deserve to be our prime minister? You see, he comes from a privileged background, and that by itself is not a crime. But his complete disconnect from the people is what troubles me. He admits it. He said, I'm not connecting. So he in tongue giving everybody high five. And if you see a pole, Dr. Munila might say that he go hug the pole and all. So then it's your tongue giving out hugs all over town. Them black boys no longer criminals. They are no longer criminals. He giving them high five now. He has never known the hardship of single mothers struggling to feed their children. Young men trying to escape a life of crime or families living from paycheck to paycheck. Even the PNM Eric Williams was credited to have said, he said that tell me to go to John John because John John had too much bad John. But when I went to John John, all I saw was poor Johns. Eric Williams understood, just as Kamala Prasad Bisesa understands. She knows your pain. She is one of us. She knows. This guy is disconnected. He cannot connect the dots. And just as Martin Luther King said, it is all right to tell a man, lift himself by his own bootstraps, but it's a cruel jest to say to a bootless man that he ought to lift himself by his own bootstrap. UNC, that is why we are the United National Congress, a party of heart, a party of empathy. We help everybody. And we say in the house of the rising sun, there's a room and a space for everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I want to specifically speak to my brothers and sisters, sons and daughters in the audience, and those watching on the various media. Honorable political leader, last week in Brazil, 100 young people came from MOVA. They probably never voted for the UNC. Tonight, the 100 young people from MOVA are here again. I know they can't get in here tonight, but they're outside. They are here again. They are telling us that they refuse to vote the way their mother votes, the way their grandmothers vote, because they know, look at the communities in which they are operating. Look at the infrastructure in these communities. Look at the lack of job opportunities in these communities. Look at the performance of the primary schools in these communities. Look at the performance of secondary schools in these communities. Look at the crime rate. Then ask yourself, why should you vote for the PNM? They do not care about you. They only care about your vote. I agree with Alwari. The glass ceiling is now broken, but it is not only broken for young. It is also broken for all of you PNM. You are free at last. You are free at last. Thank God Almighty. You are free at last to vote for the United National Congress. Vote for progress. Vote for progress. Vote for aspiration. You vote for progress. You vote for progress. You ask yourself, was my life better off under the United National Congress? Did your kids get laptops in school? Did the economy grow? Did you get Forex easily? Did you have access to good paying jobs? Did Dr. Munilal every week put 100 keys in your hand? Did he do that? You understand? You know, if he is a soul man, you know, and you see he come up and you start to sing, I'll take you there, and Muni strutting, and he put in a key in your hand, and you can go into that house in the afternoon. We don't mama guy and mimic with people. So the country faces a dire crisis, spiraling crime, economic hardship, etc. And we must make the contrast, because in the wall-to-wall PR campaign and media makeover of Young, who states that he's told he does not connect, he has displayed a blatant disregard for democratic principles and treated citizens with arrogance. And according to the victim called Imran Khan, his time at CIC was a nightmare, marked by years of relentless bullying at the hands of Stuart Young and his friend. This was not a mere schoolboy teasing, Imran claimed. Young and his clique targeted students based on race, appearance, and social background. They verbally degraded their peers, physically assaulting them, including punching and kicking. Last week in St. Augustine, MP Amin asked Stuart Young to say he's sorry. We know you're going to say he's sorry. So tonight, from a UNC platform, we UNC will tell Imran, we are sorry. Imran, we are sorry. Because when we dream about the type of person we want our Prime Minister to be, I am sure this is not what our young boy or young girl envisages. As a country, this is not what we should reward. We have learned over the last 10 years that what you could see in the day, you don't take Bull de Fay in Tobago, we say Bull de Fay in Tobago, or let us wait picture a lamp and go and look for it in the night. We should ask Mr. Khan prior to now if Mr. Young ever reached out to him to apologize. To the best of my knowledge, he has not. So Imran, we are sorry. Young arrogance and bullying reached new heights when during a parliamentary session, because you know what they're saying? He was young. It was 33 years ago. But we saw him in full effect about 3 months ago in the parliament, because that is why you want to get rid of social media. You see, the traditional media giving him a blight. They are giving him a free pass. This Imran Khan spoke about what happened to him. They write one word about it. Not one word did they write. It is the United National Congress who has to stand in the gap for Imran Khan and others such as Imran Khan. The man on plain sight was demeaning to women. He's demeaning to those he feels are less than him. Siot Young has shown us who he is, and we should believe him. We should believe him. It was the first time, it's the second time. Enough now is enough. Trinidad and Tobago, we have allowed so many incidents of injustice to go unchecked and unresolved. Akil Chambers was buggered to death in a supposedly safe space. He was in a child's birthday party. He should have been alive today to live to be a big man, to go as far as his ambition and opportunities would have taken him. He died with a socks in his mouth, with some big shot man bugging him. Let us look into ourselves. We need to save the soul of this nation, UNC. We cannot continue like this. We just can't. So, brothers and sisters, Akil is dead. Never got justice, but Imran is still alive. Tonight, I invite Imran Khan to book his first flight back to Trinidad and Tobago for the 29th of April, 2025, after being away for 33 years. Because on the 28th of April, Trinidad and Tobago will stand with a trembling, frightened schoolboy. So, brothers and sisters, after 33 years of standing alone, tonight we stand in solidarity with Imran. Tonight we too will bear the intended insult together as multiple Indian pieces of the S word. And when at last he decides to visit, we will welcome him at Piaco with red solo and roti. UNC, Trinidad and Tobago, we will not do PNM's dirty work and ratify a bully. We will not vote to put a bully into office. We will only vote to stop a bully. We are going to stop that bully. UNC, be vigilant and get to it. You know some are actively working against us to secure a win for this destructive PNM government. But no weapon formed against us shall prosper. So keep your feet to the fire, UNC. Keep your feet on the ground, because the ground will carry us. The ground will carry us to a great victory. UNC, keep hope alive. I thank you. Thank you very much.
When UNC wins, everybody wins. When UNC wins, Trinbago wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins.
Yes. Another round of applause for Deputy Political Leader and Senator Jerlene John. And please, the driver of PBS 7345, that number PBS 7345, you need to attend to your vehicle immediately. Immediately. All right. Let me bring up, of course, my co-host who's going to give you our next batch of candidates for this evening. Anil.
When UNC wins, everybody wins. When UNC
Thank
wins,
you, my brother. You know there's a serious thing, election is a serious thing. Look, Dr. Tim Gopi Singh there. He spent 35 years getting smarter to be a specialist gynecologist. Yeah, George Bovell to be an Olympic champion. Trained 40 years. Yeah, Brian Lara training from since he's 3 years old till he was 40 to be great. But somehow in politics, you have a set of pop-up people who will sit down in air condition for 10 years, do nothing, don't debate, don't argue, don't study, don't do nothing and come and tell you, vote for them, they want to be prime minister. Let me tell you something, fire burn all of that. It's UNC and the coalition of interest versus PNM. End of story. And next one in a tight short pants bowling, he going for 15 seats. That is like saying you want a roti, a red solo, and curry goat, but no goat. Ladies and gentlemen, our next batch of winning candidates for the United National Congress and the Coalition of Interests coming to you. He's going to foster some good feelings. He's going to bring back hope and love into the constituency. He is a man who come in with current. Come and welcome Mr. Philip Watts, the next MP for La Hocata, Naparima.
When UNC wins, Trinidad wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins.
And come in. We never understand this one. My people, the Douglas don't understand this one. I love politics for decades. Since I'm 9 years old, I'm discussing politics. And I don't know why the heart and soul of our energy economy, the heart and soul of our money, the heart and soul of what God bless us with down in the Southland, I don't know why you let us dip all your finger for the evil red, but not this time. In 2025, the heart and soul of the nation, the energy sector is coming to the UNC and the Coalition of Interests. Labre, please welcome Mr. Clyde Elder.
Everybody wins. When UNC wins, Trinidad wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. Tell your neighbor, tell your friend, now is the time to rise and shine. Tell your mother, tell your father, now is the time to decide.
They say God is a Trini because we don't get tsunami, we don't get hurricane, we don't get all kind of natural disasters. But we are so sure because we are PNM since 1956, and that's worse than any natural disaster. That is a man-made disaster. And coming to get rid of them from the Southland, a labor man, a man of the people, a man who will fight for you and your children, who will bring the resources to your table for your wages, a man who has joined with the UNC, a powerful individual, a brilliant individual, going to bring Point 14 into the grasp of the UNC and the Coalition of Interests. Please welcome Ernesto Quezon.
Everybody wins. When UNC wins, Trinidad wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. Tell your neighbor, tell your friend, now is the time to rise and shine. Tell your mother, tell your father, now is the time to decide. If you want leaders who can build, place your eggs by the rising sun.
And we're going down into Diego Martin. Diego Martin had the PNM Prime Minister. The man who playing golf 40 years and can't make a putt up to now. When you know you ain't good all around. He wicked, he evil, he had no skill, he not bright, he arrogant, and he vindictive. Thank God Rowley gone. Now we must send small pin with him. Come in to Diego Martin West, along with the PEP and the Coalition of Interests, Janice Lemon Creaky.
Everybody wins. When UNC wins, Trinidad wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. Tell your neighbor, tell your friend, now is the time to rise and shine. Tell your mother, tell your father, now is the time to decide. If you want leaders who can build, place your eggs by the rising sun. If you want leaders who can lead properly, place your eggs by the rising.
The PNM don't like the MP for Diego Martin Northeast. His family don't like him. His wife don't like him. Small pin don't like him. Rhoda run because they're fighting him inside the PNM. We must save Trinidad and Tobago from the Duen. We have to come in to remove the Duen from Diego Martin Northeast. I bring to you a brilliant educator, an intelligent man, not a man who was Minister of Finance for 9.5 years and now study finance on his way out. I bring to you from the PEP, bringing to the Diego Martin Northeast, Brandon Bud.
UNC wins, everybody wins. When UNC wins, Trinbago wins. Everybody wins, everybody wins. Tell your neighbor, tell your friend, now is the time to rise and shine. Tell your mother, tell your father, now is the time to decide. If you want leaders who can build, place your ex by the rising sun. If you want leaders who can lead properly, place your ex by the rising sun.
You see me? I have respect for people who like war, for people who don't start war. But when you bring it to them, they go fight it and they go finish the war. This man didn't come to bully Kamala to get a safe UNC seat. This man didn't come to take from the UNC. This man has come and joined with the UNC and said, I will take on the small pin. Bring to the microphone the next MP, the Port of Spain, St. Anne's North, Philip Edward Alexander.
Everybody wins. When UNC wins, Trinbago wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. Tell your neighbor, tell your friend, now is the time to rise and shine. Tell
And
your
we now
mother,
welcome.
tell your father.
We now welcome the leader of the Progressive Empowerment Party, who has been fighting for Trinidad and Tobago and has now joined with Kamala Persad-Bissessar to defeat the evil PNM, Philip Edward Alexander.
Talk about mash up. They talk about mash up. Come, stand up with me. Stand up with me. Stand up for victory. Stand up like we're going to be standing up on the 29th of April. Stand up and wave those flags. Stand up for Trinidad and Tobago. Stand up for our General, Kamala Persad-Bissessar. Stand up for yourself. Stand up for your children. We, on the 28th of April, we are going to win seats all up in this state.
Trinbago wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. When UNC wins, everybody wins. When UNC wins, Trinbago wins.
All right, folks, UNC family, please stand. Stand for the next Prime Minister of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago and welcome our political leader, Kamala Persad-Bissessar.
When UNC wins, everybody wins. When UNC wins, Trinbago wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. Tell your neighbor, tell your friend, now is the time to rise and shine. Tell your mother, tell your father, now is the time to decide. If you want leaders who can build, place your ex by the rising sun. If you want leaders who can lead properly, place your ex by the rising sun. On election day, vote UNC. One love, one team, one hope, one dream. On election day, vote UNC. One love, one team, one hope, one dream. When UNC wins, everybody wins. When UNC wins, everybody wins. When UNC wins, Trinbago wins. Trinbago wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. Tell your neighbor, tell your friend, now is the time to rise and shine. Tell your mother, tell your father, now is the time to decide. If you want leaders who can build, place your ex by the rising sun. If you want leaders who can lead properly, place your ex by the rising sun. On election day, vote UNC. One love, one team, one hope, one dream. On election day, vote UNC. One love, one team, one hope, one dream. When UNC wins.
All right, DJ, as the next Prime Minister takes a seat, please allow her to take a seat. We have to keep the program rolling. This crowd inside is huge. Make some noise! And the crowd outside is even bigger, 3 times louder. Outside, make some noise! And as the next Prime Minister takes a seat, I now ask the leader of the Progressive Empowerment Party to bring you 2 minutes of greetings. Philip Edward Alexander.
To the Honorable Kamala Prasad Bisesa, Senior Counsel, good evening on behalf of all of us. Good evening, ma'am. And I have said repeatedly to the media when they tried to play games with me to say, what about this? What about that? I told them on Sunday, this is an army. She has assembled an army. We are going to war to rescue Trinidad and Tobago. We are going to war. She is the general. When she said go, we go. And I would like tonight to offer an official salute to the general of the coalition of interest. Join me in saluting our Kamala Prasad Bisesa. Well done, ma'am. Well done.
UNC wins, everybody wins.
Oh, yes, another round of applause for PEP political leader, Philip Edward Alexander. Let me say a special good evening once again to our political leader and next Prime Minister of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, and Dr. Gregory Bisesa, and everyone present here. Yes, indeed, we've reached to that point. I want you to put your hands together and welcome a man who is very outspoken, a man who can no longer take the, should I say, scant courtesy and disrespect by the man and abuse by the man who walked away. Promises were never kept, and it was never about the interests of the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Please, UNC family, put your hands together and welcome our comrade from the labor force, J-Term President, Comrade Ansel Roche.
Everybody wins. When UNC wins, Trinbago wins. Trinbago wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. Tell your neighbor, tell your friend, now is the time.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Chairman of this evening's event, the launch of candidates for the general election 2025 Mr. Arnold Roberts and Mr. Mikey Kay, political leader of the United National Congress and leader of this coalition of interests, and the next Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, Mrs. Kamala Bissessa. Members of the National Executive of the UNC, other leaders of the coalition of interests, and leaders of the various trade unions, candidates for the 2025 general elections, and special recognition to the two candidates that will bring home the Labre and Point Fortin seat, Ernesto Kiza and Clyde Elder. His Excellency, Mr. Jack Austin Warner, and His Excellency, Professor Selwyn Kojo, sisters and brothers, comrade all, good evening. This evening I stand here as a proud member of this coalition of interests. But I want to tell you that the trade union movement has an interest to protect and advance, and that interest is the working class interest. Among other things, that interest is also about ensuring a safe work environment for workers and ensuring that they get a fair day's work. For a fair day's work, they get a fair day's pay. We in the trade union movement have an interest to ensure a decent standard of living for all, not just for the workers, but that interest also includes defending the poor, the unemployed, the vulnerable, the masses, and those without a voice in the society. The working class interest is also to ensure that everybody gets an equitable share of our country's resources. And therefore, when we were invited by the honorable leader of the opposition to have meaningful discussions about the workers' issues, we accepted the opportunity to advance the workers' interests. Because to do otherwise would have been irresponsible and reckless of us. But I want to tell you this evening that in advancing the workers' interests, we have been meeting with the UNC for approximately 2 years. Trinidad and Tobago don't know that, but I want to reveal that this evening. We have been meeting with them for over 2 years. And what? To develop a workers' agenda. But this evening, I also want to tell you, listen carefully, that whilst the political leader of the UNC could have sent a very capable and competent team to meet with us, as political leader and leader of the opposition, she herself led those discussions as a mark of respect for the trade union movement and workers in this country. I am happy to announce to all of you gathered here, and by extension, announce to the country that we have come to an agreement on a workers' agenda. The same workers' agenda which Mrs. Kamala Bissessa, as leader of the opposition, included in her response to the 2025 budget in the Parliament last year. Now permit me to share with you some of the highlights contained in the workers' agenda. Pay close attention. The commitment to create a living wage to ensure that all workers can earn a wage that would allow them to live a life with dignity and adequately take care of their family. The commitment to end the proliferation of contract work in the public service, in statutory bodies, and state enterprises. The commitment to amend legislation in the shortest possible time to ensure trade unions' successorship at key state enterprises and state agencies, and to simplify the trade union recognition process to allow more workers' trade union representation. The commitment to improve all outdated labor legislation, including the Retrenchment and Severance Benefit Act. Many workers have gone home. Many workers have gone home since this Rowley and Stuart Young-led government were in power. And today, over 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years, they have not received any severance benefit. The Workmen Compensation Act, the OSH Act, and also the Industrial Relations Act. The commitment to make corporate manslaughter a criminal offense. Remember, corporate manslaughter where 4 divers died, and you can't jail the building. Well, when this law change, you will jail all of those who are responsible for the death of the people, of the workers. The commitment to begin engagement with the respective trade unions aimed at providing a contributory pension plan, note this, for daily rated workers to allow them to live a life of dignity after retirement. Not only Stuart Young and Rowley deserve a good pension, workers deserve a good pension too. The commitment to work with trade unions to ensure that workers throughout the public service have accessibility to HDC housing. The commitment to preserve COLA for workers where it presently exists in their collective agreement based on the collective bargaining process. The commitment to improve the health plan for all public service sector workers. The commitment to restart the Point-à-Pierre refinery with the involvement of the union. Let me say that again. Let me say that again. Let me say that again. The commitment to restart the Point-à-Pierre refinery with the involvement of the union. And of course, while we can't talk about any percentage or way it would settle, there's a commitment to revisit the unjust and unfair 4% over 6 years and the paltry 5% over another 3 years, with absolutely no consolidation of COLA. The commitment to restore free and fair collective bargaining process to deal with all of the outstanding wage and salary negotiations. We don't have that again. We don't have that under the PN. What we have is bullying by the CPO to force you, bullying by the courts to force the workers and their unions to accept that unfair 4%. But while these are just some of the general items agreed upon, there are many other union-specific issues that were addressed in the workers' agenda, too many to mention here this evening. But let us not forget Trinidad and Tobago. Let us not forget that for the past 10 years, Rowley and Stuart Young did not bring one piece of labor legislation to the parliament to improve the quality of life of the workers. That is how much they care about you, the workers. This evening, I want to remind all workers of this country, listen carefully, I want on this platform to remind all workers of the country that it was not Kamala who raised gas prices 7 times. It was Rowley and Stuart Young that do that. That it was not Kamala who further burden you with property tax and other punitive taxes. It was Rowley and Stuart Young that did that. She did not decimate TSTT, putting hundreds of workers on the breadline. It was Rowley and Stuart Young that did that. She did not send home hundreds of workers at UTT. It was Rowley and Stuart Young that did that. Kamala did not allow ArcelorMittal to close down and send home all their workers. No. Who? it was Rowley and Stuart Young that did that. It wasn't Kamla who imposed the malicious 4% over 6 years with no consolidation of COLA. Remember this when you go to vote. Remember this when you go to vote. It was Rowley and Stuart Young that did that. It wasn't Kamla who gave the Tiantec workers 000 with no wage offer to their current wage negotiations. Again, it was Rowley and Stuart Young that did that. It wasn't Kamla who weaponized the court and disregarded the collective bargaining process. Remember, it was the PNM government that did that. Don't forget that. Kamla did not lead the unprecedented frontal attack on you, the workers, and attempted to destroy your trade unions. No, it was not Kamla. It was Rowley and Stuart Young who did that. It was not Kamla who closed down TDC, Caroni Green, and Government HR Services Limited. Who it was? It was Rowley and Stuart Young that did that. And tonight, I want to remind all the Petrotrin workers, that it was not Kamla who closed down Petrotrin and sent all of you home. Take away your medical plan, put your pensions in jeopardy. It was who? It was Rowley and Stuart Young that did that. You see, they want you to forget the last 10 years. They want you to forget the last 10 years. For them, it is as though that last 10 years never existed. They would like you to forget the pain, the horror, and the nightmare, and the arrogance, and the bullying of Rowley and Stuart Young on you, the workers, and the people of Trinidad and Tobago. But we cannot afford to forget that. They want you to forget that Rowley and Stuart Young presided over the loss of over 60,000 jobs. 60,000 jobs with 60,000 families in this country. Kamla did not do that. Yeah? So when you go to vote, remember all of these things. It was so. Never forget it. Never forget it. But if you put God out of your thoughts and give them a third term, they will complete the job to fully destroy Trinidad and Tobago. You will not recognize this country when you see it on the map. Do not take God out your thoughts. Imagine, after crashing the economy, right before your eyes, Rowley collected his $1 million back pay, $87,000 in pension, and dive out, leaving Trinidad and Tobago to sink. We will neither forget nor forgive them for their vicious and frontal attack on you, the workers, and trade unions in this country. And therefore, we are not prepared to sit and wait for the results. We are prepared to help create the results. We are in it. We are in it to win it. And that is why we have put forward two candidates. And that is why we have put forward two candidates, Clyde and Elder, to win the Labre and the Point Fortin seats on Monday, April the 20th. Tonight, I am appealing to all workers in this country. Tonight, I am appealing from this platform, I am appealing to all workers in this country to join with the UNC and the coalition of interest, to join with us in our rescue mission to save our country, to create a better future with many opportunities, not just for you as workers, but for your children and future generations. But I must strongly advise you not to be distracted. not to fall for the deception, lies, and false promises of this wicked PNM government at this 99th hour. In 10 years, they have underdeveloped this country. They have taken Trinidad and Tobago almost 4 decades backwards. With absolutely no achievement to show, they will use the only weapon they have, that is the weapon of race, to divide you. But do not fall for that as I close. Do not fall for that. Let us stay united and keep our focus on winning. I also want to tell you as I close, I also want to tell you that no other political party, whether pop up or pop down, will win this general election. No other. None. The only political party to win this general election and put this country back together again is the UNC and the Coalition of Interest, with Mrs. Kamla Persad-Bissessar as leader and the next Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. So on election day, Monday the 28th of April, as workers, go out in your numbers and vote for yourself, vote for your children, vote for your future, vote for jobs, vote for opportunity, vote for change, vote to ensure that the UNC and its coalition of interest win. Because when the UNC win, all the workers will win. When the UNC win, the people will win. When the UNC win, Trinidad and Tobago will win. When UNC win, everybody wins. I thank you.
Everybody wins. When UNC wins, Trinbago wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins.
It's not Kamala who spends $600 billion and nothing working. It's Rowley and Stewart Young. It's not Kamala who had 600 recusals and all the ministers get rich. It's Rowley and Stewart Young. It's not Kamala who turned Trinidad and Tobago into a bloodbath. It's Rowley and Stewart Young do that. On April 28th, we will vote out Rowley and Stewart Young.
Come here, Anil. Well said, well said. I'm going to ask you a few questions. And these questions is what everyone is going to take to the polls come April 28th. Who loves us?
Kamala.
Who dedicated her life to serve the people of Trinidad and Tobago?
Kamala.
Who understand what it is to deliver to the people of Trinidad and Tobago?
Kamala.
Then we say no more. Bring it home.
Ladies and gentlemen, people of Trinidad and Tobago, get ready to welcome the next Prime Minister of Trinidad.
Trinbago wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. Tell your neighbor, tell your friend, now is the time to rise and shine. Tell your mother, tell your father, now is the time to decide. If you want leaders who can build, place your ex by the rising sun. If you want leaders who can lead properly, place your ex by the rising sun. On election day, vote UNC. One love, one team, one hope, one dream. On election day, vote
UNC family! UNC friends! Specially invited guests, Ansel Roger, Philip Alexander, and I must acknowledge with us this evening our good friend,
Our partner, Mr. Jack Warner, please welcome him. And the others who are with us, in the interest of time, I will skip all the protocols for the moment. And thank you all for the support that you have given our great party and our friends. So, I start as I usually end. You have had leaders before me. You will have leaders after me. But you will never, ever have a leader who loves you as much as I do. Let us thank all the powerful speakers who came before me. Dr. Munilal, Sister JJ, Ansel, and Philip. Thank them very much, please, for their very powerful speeches. And I understand, and I want you to understand, that political leadership is about love. It is about empathy. It is about caring. It is about competence and experience and emotional intelligence. Leadership is about compassion. I appreciate Brother Comrade Roger. He expressed it better than I could do it myself. Leadership is about compassion. And that compassion comes about shared experiences and sacrifices. Strong, competent leadership is not about buffing. It is not about berating. It is not about bullying other persons. Strong leadership is about listening. Strong leadership is about comforting people, encouraging people, accepting people, and accepting responsibility for the lives and livelihoods of people. So I look to you and I say the UNC is about empowerment. The UNC is about empowerment, to empower you. Empower each and every one of you, everybody. I have the confidence to do as Bob Marley and tell you tonight, get up, stand up, get up, stand up for your rights. We, all of us, we must get up and replace fear with courage. We must get up, stand up, and replace weakness with strength. We must stand up and replace despair with hope. The UNC and the coalition of interests remains the only hope for Trinidad and Tobago. This victory requires action from every citizen who is fed up. We are fed up with one small group who unfairly gets richer while you struggle, whilst the PNM uses the power of the state to oppress you. One small group gets everything. They get all the forex. They get all the opportunities, while you and your children, you get nothing. Nothing from Rowley, nothing from Stuart Young, nothing from a single one of them. And we must make sure that that ends on April 28th. We must make sure that ends on April 28th when you vote for the UNC and the PEP candidates and you vote for the coalition of interests. That vote is for you. That vote is for you because you deserve to win and you deserve to keep winning. It's for you. You know, many people come to me daily. They pledge their support for the UNC in this election. but they're afraid of being victimized. They're afraid of being victimized by the bullies in the PNM. They're afraid. They fear the PNM will destroy their lives if they criticize them. But whether covertly or overtly, you campaign for the UNC on the streets and on and inside the voting booths. On that day, you come out and you riot with your finger when you cast your vote for the coalition of interest. You come back when you will take back power and we will all win together. You citizens, you will be the real heroes in this story. When this story is written, every single citizen and their friends and families will be the heroes in the story. And so, do not be afraid. As my sister JJ told you, and I say all the time, no weapon formed against us shall ever prosper. Shall ever prosper. So tonight I want to take a moment to reintroduce myself to you. Some things you may not know, and some things you may have forgotten. So I will refresh your memories. I am Kamla Prasad Bisasa. I am the proud daughter of Rita Prasad. She was a socially ostracized person coming from the lowest castes and classes. She was a garden worker. She was a housemaid. She was a shop cleaner. She was a roti seller. In fact, when I was going to school, they used to call me Roti Girl. But she made the best roti you could ever taste in all of Superior. Roti seller, roadside lorry seller, vendor, jewelry, street seller, part-time seamstress. She used to sew all my clothes. And from her I learned to sew my clothes too. Don't do it much these days because of time. But she was just a seamstress. And she created and molded the first female Attorney General of Trinidad and Tobago. Together with my father, they molded and created the first female leader of the opposition. And together, they created the first woman Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. And with your help, on April 28th, I will be the second female Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. So they could say whatever they want to say about me. And what they have not said is not left to be said, because they have made up everything they could and said everything they could say about me. But you know that Kamla does not back down from anyone. No backing down. I don't run away from any fight. I fought this wicked, oppressive government to defend our citizens. I've done that every day since I entered into politics. My wounds are on my chest because I lead my party from the front. My wounds remain on my chest because I lead this party from the front. I have the strength and the will from my mother's blood in my veins. No one could bully me. No one could berate me. No one can break and no one can buy me. No one, no one. And no one can control me, no one at all. That's what my mother taught me. That is what my mother taught me from the pain, the abuse, the humiliation she endured in her early years. She taught me, don't crawl on your belly for anybody. Don't crawl on your belly for anyone. Tonight, I am letting the wicked bully know. All of us will let that bully know, that big, bad bully, that the UNC bigger and badder than any one of them. And you know why? Very simple answer. Because when the UNC wins, when the UNC wins, you win. When the UNC wins, T&T wins. So I will tell you, if I get a little emotional tonight, it's because I can feel the love coming to me. I share the love from myself, but I can feel it. And I want to thank you for that. I really want to thank you. And it is only a leader who has shared life experiences can love you and your children, because we have shared experiences. Only then can a leader truly know and understand your feelings, the pain, the ambitions, and then take decisions in your best interest. Only a leader who has worked as a waitress in England. I left Trinidad when I was 16 years old. I had to help work to pay for my schooling. I worked as a waitress. Michelle, you knew that? I don't think you knew that. You're too young. I worked as a waitress in England to help pay for my schooling. And therefore I can understand the feelings of men and women who work long hours in the fast food outlets, in the casinos, in the restaurants, in stores, and the service industry to pay for their schooling or to take care of their families and their children. I understand that. This is why whenever I go to events, people tell you, Kamla always watching for the people in the kitchen. Kamla looking for the fellows who serving the food. I see the people. They sweep the floors, and I know what it is. I see them serving the meals. They pack the chairs. They clear the tables. They clean the washrooms. I see them. I see them. Let me tell you, their work is very tiring. Working as a waitress, I tell you, it was really tiring. Sometimes you felt like knocking on a customer with a plate. And you have to remain calm. My name is Kamla. Remain calm. Remain calm. So I was not a bully. I didn't tell the customer with a plate. I stayed calm. Only a leader who walked the streets with her mother, selling house to house, could understand the hustle and perseverance of street vendors, doubles vendors, delivery sales drivers, or the men selling by the traffic lights. I understand it. My mother got jewelry on consignment, and she used to travel to San Fernando from Siparia. She would walk the streets selling that jewelry to help earn some money to support herself and her family. I remember when I came back to Trinidad, I would go with her house to house in places like Gulfview, Bel Air, all them big shot areas here, Maca and San Fernando. Mr. Dollard would know them. I would go with her. I was then 18 years old in university. And we would go house to house. And I would smile. I believe I have a good smile. So I would smile and help her to sell, because you had to sell. If you didn't sell, you didn't eat. So I understand the plight of all those vendors out there. Only a leader, I tell you, will understand, because we have shared experiences. I am your leader. And I dragged a dying man who was shot in Jamaica from the middle of the street. I saw this man bleeding. That was outside the university gates. And I picked him up in my vehicle. I had a little yellow, it was yellow even then. I had a little yellow beetle, a wagon, Greg, you remember it? The little yellow, what do you call that? The little ones. Some kind of wagon. Volkswagen, thank you. Thank you, Greg, Volkswagen, little yellow one. And I dragged him, and then I was kind of nashy in them days, you know, a little small and so on. And I put him in my little Volkswagen. Up to today, I will never, ever forget the smell of that blood. Never, ever forget it. Because it stained the car, whatever. But the smell of that blood of a man shot. And I drove him to the hospital. Those of you who studied in Jamaica will know. Dr. Bodo will know you studied in Jamaica with us at that time. The university hospital was right in front of the university. So when I picked him up, I took him to the university hospital and helped to save his life. And so I understand when mothers and brothers and sisters and fathers, when we see our children being gunned down, our loved ones gunned down every single day, I understand what horror that must be. I understand your experience because I've experienced it. That day in my car, I will never, ever forget. I will understand it. And I will understand that you don't leave 4 men in a pipe to die. You don't leave 4 men in a pipe to die. This government showed no remorse. They paid their Eater Food lawyers over $50 million for a commission of inquiry, and not 1 cent for the families of those divers, not a cent, not one. Tonight I understand and I know, I demand that the government pay the families of those divers. You know what? I'll tell you what we'll do. We demand they pay it. I tell you, when we win, that will be one of the first things I will do. That will be one of the first things that I will do. And you have to make sure that happens. On the 28th of April, you have to make sure when you cast your votes for the UNC and the PP, the Coalition of Interests, we must make sure that happens. And I don't break my word. I don't break my word. In the last election, I promised you Children's Life Fund, do you remember? And that, when I went into government, we went into government, that was cabinet note number 1 of my government, to create the Children's Life Fund. And whatever nonsense they're doing with it, we will fix that too, Philip. We will fix it together. We will fix it together. Whatever it is, new legislation is needed. You can't pass. Barry talks of it all the time. The legislation needs to be revised. It needs to be revamped so that more children could get that care. So I tell you, people know the difference, you know. I think people know that only a leader who has shared your life experience, and I've shared some with you, only then you can know. Only then can you know how much the way you love your children is the way this leader loves every one of you and your children. People know the difference between fabricated, paid propaganda campaign. You know the difference. put out a propaganda video they pay for. You know the difference. From that propaganda video, people learning how to hug up. They never hug up and kiss up and things so much. They're now learning what it is to hug, and when you see them hugging, boy, I think you better stay far. Just back. Don't take that hug up from these Stuart Young and his crew, his gang. But people know when they stage that video with all that hugging up going on, you know the difference. You know that's not real, it ain't real. According to Philip Watts, that ain't walking here tonight. That ain't walking here tonight. And I know, you know what is real. You know what is genuine. And therefore, on the 28th, you will show that you understand when you cast that vote. I know you all. And many of you also know me. I know Bellman ring the bell, boy. When election date ring, I said, "I's Bellman." Bellman, I know you. His name is Silbert Robley. I know his daughter's name. She's Ayana. And I know he has plenty grandchildren. Give it up to Bellman, who has never left outside. I also know Bala. Bala is a man beating the drum at almost every UHC meeting. Give him a round of applause. He lives in St. Madeleine, near the old train line on the M2 Ring Road. I know him. I know Babita from Kumoto Manson. I know her. From Toko Grande. She lost her foot. Babita lost her foot. But she will always send me kind messages, greetings to me all the time. She will send me words of encouragement. I know her too. And this is where you can't fake real. You cannot fake love. And I know so many of you, we meet, we talk, we greet. And I know you tonight. Big up Twiggy, who is here in the audience with us. Big up Joy, who is also with us. Joy, who lost her son at the expense of criminals. I don't want to repeat how horrible that experience was, but she went on social media and she talked about it when she went to see where her son was lying dead on the street in Port of Spain. One day she will tell us again about it. So I tell you, I love you all the time. Sometimes I feel silly and they say, no, you must keep saying it. Well, I want to ask you this. Have you ever heard in all these years, have you ever heard Stuarty or any of those PNM MPs, former MPs, has any one of them ever said they love you? Have you ever heard that? Never. Never, 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 never. If they do not love their own members, you think they could love you? You think they could love your children? They don't love their own members. Young told the PNM meeting in Woodford Square that when he returned to Trinidad in 1998, he said he landed in the new Piarco airport. You hear lie? That is lie. Because there was no new airport in 1998. He said he landed in a new airport in 1998 and he saw the corruption. And he immediately went where? To the PNM to save the country. And he stood at the back of the crowd in the PNM meetings. Now, I don't know which airport this man landed in 1998. Because Jeje will tell you, because she was instrumental in that, helping then UNC with Mr. Panley build that airport. That new airport was opened in May 2001. 3 years after this man landed on Mars. 3 years later. But that's his version. That's his version, as so many other distorted versions and visions. He has no shared experiences with rank and file persons, whether in the PNM or outside of the PNM. He has none with you. So he resorts to fabrications. You know, in Parliament, I can't use the word, so we had to get another word. I see Wade, Mark here, we have to use another word, Wade. You have to say fabrication. But that is old lie. You hear lie? That was a lie. That was a lie. Landed here in 1998. And here it is, resorting to making up things, fabricating, scripted interactions. He can never understand or appreciate your circumstances. So you will never win with him. You will never win with him. You will only lose. That's all that will happen. You will only lose. You have been losing with Stuart Young, and I can't say it like Mr. Roger, you know. Who is it? Rowley and Stuarty. Rowley and Stuarty. You have been losing with them for almost 10 years. You're hardened, stick brick in your ears. You've been losing with them for almost 10 years, man. Wake up, take out the stick from your ears. Ask the PNM, where is your raise in salary? Lost. Where is your chance of promotion? Lost. Where is your child's laptop? Lost. Where is your life of freedom? Lost, because you are locked down in your house. Afraid of the bandits, I know they even coming into invading your home. Where is your foreign exchange? That too, lost. Where are the 5,000 persons who were murdered in this country? Lost. Where are the over 5,000 persons who dead in COVID? Lost. You have been losing with them for almost 10 years. Where are your jobs? Mr. Roger told us 65,000 jobs have been lost under this government. And soon you may lose your free speech. When he bans social media platforms, you will lose your freedom of speech. You know, many parties are contesting this election. Many parties. But the UNC is the only party that has a democratically elected leader. Did you know that? Did you know that? Big up Mr. Roger, he won his elections too. Did you know that? The whatever PNM cancelled theirs. Some others, well, they hate me, Philip. We call them pop-up parties. PEP is not a pop-up party. PEP has fought so many elections. So many elections. And therefore, I say to you, I am the only political party leader in this general election elected by our membership, elected by you. I was elected based on my track record of service and delivery. I was elected on a track record of hard work. I have never, ever betrayed my party or forgotten that I work for you, our membership, and for the citizens of our land. I have never forgotten that. My track record. I am not the leader of a political party because I have friends and family and my father is a big boy and so on. No. My father didn't buy nothing for me. Well, he buy food. How could say that about him, man? He was a great father. He bought us food and clothes and he took care of us. He was a great father. But I didn't become the leader of this party and all the other positions because my father bought it for me, or because of my father's record, or because I bullied and blackmailed myself up to the top. No, 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 no. I worked hard, and I earned it. So when political leaders come to you asking for your vote, ask them, where is your track record? Where's your track record? And ask them to list their track record. Look, I could list you about 20 things right now, and more. So let me just give you a few. I could give you parts of my track record. Children's Life Fund. Children's Authority. Constructed over 106 new schools. Created over 55,000 new jobs. No new tax, remember that? No new taxes. We settled so many wage negotiations, and Darcy always reminds me. 135 wage negotiations settled. I increased old age pensions not once, but twice. I increased the minimum wage not once, but twice. We built hospitals. We talked about the San Fernando Hospital. We built health centers. We improved health care. Let me remind you, it was this Trini Soparia girl who made sure the hospital in Tobago and Scarborough was completed for the people of Tobago. Me and my government then, they had left that hospital in scrap. And when you put us back there, we will make sure the Port of Spain General Hospital is properly completed. I'm giving you a track record. We earned the highest foreign direct investment in the history of Trinidad and Tobago. We grew our economy to the highest GDP in our history. We had the highest savings in our history. We kept the food prices down, remember? We removed about 7,000 items. We moved the VAT out. We provided the laptops for our children. We gave them textbooks. We gave them school feeding. We gave them school transport. You all remember that? I know Shanti Budran from my constituency. She had a yellow bus, a yellow maxi taxi, driving school children. We increased scholarships. We opened the gate. We had the lowest crime rate in 30 years, man. We built police stations, built hospitals, I told you. We built police stations. Rudy talked about the fire stations we built, and they wouldn't even put a fire tender in these things. 10 years now, you know. Why? Why? But you could fill your pocket. You pack your bags and you're gone. Pack your bags and you're gone, and all the money going from the treasury. You leave the treasury bone dry. We increased scholarships, I said, and opened the gate, lowered the crime. You got the most extensive road and bridge repair program in our history. You got water in your taps. You all remember that? Remember that? We illuminated recreation grounds around the country. We kept the fuel prices down, electricity and water prices down. As Mr. Roger, Comrade Roger told you earlier, it wasn't Kamala who increased these foolish prices, it was. Who it was? Only Anstioti. We improved the ease of doing business across the board. And so when you ask me where the money went in our term, I can tell you these are just some of the achievements during that period, 2010 to 2015. That money went to you and your children. because that is your money. That is the taxpayer dollars, your money. It went to you, and so my job as a leader was to make sure you and your families benefited from the tax dollars. I did that. No citizen of our country should be condemned to a life of poverty when a UNC government is in office. No one, no one. And so you will have a chance to do better and to have opportunities to grow. You must benefit from government spending. When the man buying painting something from whatever and whatever, and remember they had some Calypso boat cruise and the government paying for all that. And when Saddam told you they're paying for red fete, party fete ticket and things, that's your money. You should benefit from that money, not them and their friends and eat food families, not them. You will have a UNC government who will put things in place for you to do better and for your families to do better. You must benefit from government spending. That is your right as a citizen. You must benefit, and the UNC and the coalition of interests will make that happen. You know why? You have been struggling for too long, 10 long years out in the wilderness. Families have been struggling for far too long. Businesses have been struggling for far too long. People have been unemployed for far too long. Workers have been waiting for salary increases for far too long. And it's all because Stuart and Rowley in government for far too long. We've been there too long. So, what is their track record? Can you point to anything, touch anything? Can you point to anything? I could point to that hospital right up the road, the San Fernando teacher. You could touch it. You could touch it, you could see it. What can they point to? A one floor, we were thank David Naked for the video he did with that Port of Spain, a one floor hospital that's supposed to have 12 or 13 floors. That is their track record. So when they come for your vote, ask these leaders to tell you their track record of delivery and what they did to stand up to protect you and your families. They have none, none, none. Their record is only what their daddy gave them. Their record is only favoritism, never hard work, no sacrifice like you make as you do every day. I will tell you this, and I'm not a boastful person. Sometimes they tell me I don't let people know enough. Well, I'll tell you this, only a leader who graduated at the top of a class in the Hoover Law School. And I couldn't get a job after because I didn't have father and eat food families. Couldn't get a job. Top of the law school, the Hoover Law School, you know. I'm very proud. I'll take a bow. I'll take a bow. I didn't know the big boys, Philip. Didn't know the big boys. Didn't have those connections, little girl from Superior. But I could understand how you feel when you or your child goes to university and they graduate, they study hard, they graduate with a degree, and they come out of the university and they can't get a job. They go to high school for so many years, they come and they can't get a job. But you see others who are not qualified getting jobs because they have the daddies and the mommies in the right places. They have the eater food crew in the right places. And so I graduated, I say, from law school at the top of the class. No one would hire me because I didn't have the godfather or the godmother to help me. So when I tell you I worked hard, that is an experience that many of us have to share. Many of us. Almost every one of us has been unfairly treated and lost opportunities that you earned. Went to some lazy person because their daddy and mommy had influence. See, Anil, nodding, so true. You work hard every day, and then poof, poof, Someone parachutes into the promotion. You earn because their father or mother knows someone. No positive track record, I say. Their track record is zero, zilch, nada, nothing. No positive track record. Ask them for their track record and compare. Compare them to us. Ask yourself who stood up to protect your pensions. Remember that recently? Who stood up? They dropped the bill in Parliament and they feel we were sleeping. But only one man I know. Well, more than one, but we know one. The Rasta himself. The Rasta man always sleeping in the Parliament. I picked up that bill and I broadcast it to you all. You know they still have that bill on the order paper. When was that? You all remember, Vanana? December. That was your Christmas present from them. But we bust it, as they say, bust it on the platform. They stayed quiet, but it's still on the order paper. You know why? They're waiting for your vote so that they could go and implement that bill to take back your pension and your public assistance. So, as you all say, don't take God out of your thoughts. Protect your pension. I stood up to protect your pensions, and I will do so again. I ask you again, who stood up? Who stood up against mandatory vaccinations? I did. And when we had no vaccines here, I wrote to the Indian government, the first set of vaccines we get is because of that intervention we got as a gift from the Indian government. I thank the Indian government for that donation. Who stood up against a cashless society? I did, and Philip did too. We stood up against cashless society. Who stood up against increased water rates, electricity rates? I did, we did. Who was the only leader of a political party who went out to protest against the increasing prices for the fuel? I did, we did. Who stood up against interference in independent institutions? I did, we did. You all remember? We went to the Parliament with a motion against the president because that is when Rowley had gone to interfere with the appointment of a commissioner of police. And we went to Parliament, but the Parliament is headed by people who are PNM people. The rest is history, but we exposed them, always interfering in independent institutions. I say again to you tonight, who wants to give you legal firearms laws so you could defend your family? Legal firearm laws. So Young's terrible 10-year track record as the most senior government minister proves he cannot improve your lives and livelihoods. The other parties, some of them are funded by the PNM. Don't fool yourself, you know. You must think, but where they getting all that money, boy? Where that money coming from? Who will benefit? Not you, not our citizens. Who will benefit from them other pop-up parties? Whom? It's the PNM. It's the PNM. They are funded by the PNM. They have no track record of delivery and service. None whatsoever. And any vote then for the PNM, any vote for the smaller parties, their financing will be a vote against you, a vote against yourself, a vote against your families. Remember that. It is a vote to lose your pension. It is a vote to get increased taxes from them, increased water rates, electricity rates, food and fuel prices, more traffic tickets, property tax, job cuts, business closures, no foreign exchange, no salary increase. And a cashless society when you vote for these pop-up candidates. It's a vote for all those wicked, destructive things. It is a vote to continue the violent crime crisis. That would be a vote for home invasions and extortion. It is a vote against giving your family a fighting chance against violent criminals. In this election, you only win when the UNC wins. You only win when the UNC wins. When UNC wins, everybody wins. When UNC wins, Trinidad and Tobago wins. And together with our coalition of interests, together we will fix it. Together we will fix Trinidad and Tobago. So tonight, for those who are not here with us in this crowd, and when I came, and I'm told still there are more people outside this hall than there are people inside the hall. Thanks to all of them. So those who are tuned in, listening, watching, I invite you into the UNC home. I invite you into the house of the rising sun. Welcome home, welcome home. You all know your lives were better and your children were safer under our previous government. Come to a home that loves you, that will take care of you, and that will protect you. Come to a home where you can choose your leader democratically. Come to a home where you are the first priority. Come to a home where your children have a brighter future. Come to a home where everybody knows your name. Our UNC campaign slogan, when UNC wins, everybody wins. When UNC wins, retirees will win. I'll tell you why. Because we will work together with the coalition partners to decrease taxes on your retirement benefits and private pensions. When UNC wins, retirees win. They worked hard their whole life and paid tax their whole life, and when you retire, you're still paying tax. We will work to reduce that tax on your pensions and your retirement benefits. When UNC wins, your mental health wins as well. There has been a proliferation of noise pollution emanated from homes and fetes and bars and clubs, intolerable to the persons living nearby. The UNC and our partners will amend the noise pollution laws to protect your mental health in these noisy residential neighborhoods and businesses. The system of granting bar license, party license, will be changed by the UNC to remove, at the moment, the lawyers, the police, the TTPS, they are the complainant in those matters. So you go to complain about the bar next door, plenty noise. I went through some years of that right where I live here in Philippines. The complainant is a police officer and prosecutor in the case. And therefore, they run the case, for all the court case I'm talking about. We will amend that law so that you, the person directly affected, can be the person to prosecute your matter with the help of the police officers. And then you can hire your own lawyers. I'm not making a case for lawyers, but then you can hire your own lawyers against the noise makers to get your peace and your rest in your own home. So when UNC wins, I said, your mental health wins. When UNC wins, businesses will win. Businesses win with lower taxes. They win with investments in port operations, lower security costs, more forex, and a focus on growing micro, small, and medium enterprises. Businesses win with the establishment of a national commission, which we will do, of a commission on the banking and financial sector to make sure that you are not exploited by the high fees and interest rates that spreads, and that banks and financial institutions perform their essential development role of converting national savings into national investment. The Commission will also work to ensure a fair distribution of Forex. A fair distribution of Forex. And we will deregulate financial bureaucracy to facilitate businesses and business transactions. When UNC wins as well, families win. Families win. Families win with no property tax. Families win with lower food prices. Family wins with no electricity and water increases. You will have more income in your pockets to spend on the upliftment of your families. You will have more money in your pockets. Families will win when they have a legal firearm to defend themselves and their families, their loved ones. You know, I said, I asked you to imagine you're home sleeping in your bed and you have a home invasion. And a bandit comes, whether it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, they invade your home. And you in that house and you see bandit raping your wife or your sister or your mother or even your son or your daughter, what do you do? What do you do? We will give you legal firearms. We will give you legal firearms. Legal firearms. There is nothing more deadly than to imagine that of you and your family at the mercy of these bandits. When UNC wins, families, as I say, children will win. Children will win. They will win with the full complement of deans of discipline, security officers, safety officers, police officers in schools to protect your children. You will not have to worry that your child is being bullied every day in school. I will send the police full-time into schools to stop your children from being terrorized. Too many children are going into depression. They live in fear daily. Ms. John and others spoke about then young Imran Khan. When I read what he wrote, we all who have children, even if we don't have children, we have brothers and sisters and smaller ones, you know. That was the most depressing and saddest thing that you could read that happened to a child. We will send the officers to protect your children in a place that should be one of the safest places, the schools. We will work to protect your children. They will win with guidance counselors, social workers, clinical psychologists and doctors looking after our children to stop depression, anxiety, and suicides. We must give that help. Our children will win, again, with laptops, with textbooks, expanded gate, expanded scholarship program. Our children will win when the UNC wins. When the UNC wins, the senior citizens will also win. Senior citizens will win because their old age pensions, I will make sure to protect their old age pensions. They want to take away those pensions, we will make sure. The seniors will also win because we'll set up a system of home visits by doctors from the district health center to go and visit the seniors in their homes. In their homes. And remember, under my watch, we had opened up all those health centers. Some of them 24/7 extended. We will do that again. We'll reopen those centers. So when you come from work, you can't work 8 to 4 in a health center. People hold their sick, they'll see a doctor when they go home. We will reopen those hours when you can visit. When UNC wins, communities will win too. We will win the communities because we return the community comfort patrols. We will return the community comfort patrols. We will also establish gated communities for those who want gated communities so you can protect where you live. Gated communities, with your help, we will do it together. Healthcare wins. And having operating cath labs at all major hospitals. This would enable cardiac stenting on a 24-hour basis within minutes of arrival at the hospital, so that we will have a nationwide 90-minute policy of heart attack to stenting within 90 minutes. Within 90 minutes. No cath lab here at San Fernando servicing hundreds of thousands of people. None. So you get a heart attack, you know where you have to go for a stent? Well, if you want to get it free, you might have to reach the town. Well, if you could pay for it, the few who could pay for it, you had to go to a nursing home. By that time, you're dead. No cath lab. You need the cath labs at the hospitals, the major hospitals. So immediately, within 90 minutes, stenting, from attack to stenting. You will win with health again. We'll construct and equip dialysis clinics at all major hospitals, dialysis clinics. We'll have the staff. We will have 24-hour dialysis. Those of you who have to go for dialysis, you know the pressure you face. You know how long you have to wait. You also know not only how long you have to wait, how many days you have to wait, not just the length, the time. You have the machines, run them 24 hours, man. Day or night, run them. Run them. And the government will only pay for emergency dialysis cases. So government should provide that in all major hospitals. We will win, and you will win. We will set up a unique medical malpractice court and a special investigative unit aided by experts to handle suspected medical malpractice cases. We will also establish a no-fault compensation fund so that affected persons can receive relief even outside the courts from that fund. You will win when we create a stroke rehab center to help stroke victims recover. We will establish a stroke rehab center. When UNC wins, the local energy sector will be revitalized. And we will do that because the small and medium businesses in the energy sector will establish a new body to represent local energy service companies and contractors. And they can then go to that body that we'll establish. They can make representations directly to the Minister of Energy or to the Prime Minister, which will be me, by the way. You can make your complaints and your calls to me directly. You don't have to go through the existing energy chamber, which caters really for them big multinational companies. So the smaller ones. And Philip just showed me, do I have my phone, please? Can I get my phone? Philip just showed me something that was posted from the United States. As we talk about the energy sector, this government, for 10 years, they have put all their eggs into one basket, which is dragon gas. Dragon gas. And this here is posted a short while ago. From Secretary Marco Rubio. You know that name? You know that name? In the Trump administration. Post. The United States, what Trump go do, you'll find out now what Trump go do. Let me read the post. The United States will not tolerate any third countries or their oil companies producing, extracting, or exporting oil and oil-related products with the Maduro regime in Venezuela. This is a regime that has consistently stolen elections, pillaged from its people, and colluded with our enemies. Any country, what Trump gonna do, Camille? Listen. Any country that allows its companies to produce, extract, or export from Venezuela will be subject to new tariffs, and any companies will be subject to sanctions. We warn them repeatedly. What are you going to do? You find out now. That is why on the 28th, you have to vote the UNC and the PEP and the coalition of interest. We must not let this happen. We will not let this happen. All the Congo line done, all them dancing in Congo line, I think, that ain't working here tonight, Philip. That ain't working here tonight. So, they have chosen a slogan. Barry sent it to me on the phone. Many of you send me things, and I appreciate everything you all send me. I read everything. I may not answer the phone 24/7, but I read everything I get on my phone. So feel free. Barry sent it to me. The PNM has chosen a slogan which says, all in. All in. Because they are all in to make your life harder. The PNM is all in with high fuel prices. The PNM is all in with pothole and traffic jam, traffic tickets. The PNM is all in with taking away your pensions. The PNM is all in on cutting down the gate. The PNM is all in on property tax. The PNM is all in against you and your families. They're all in that together. They're all in against legal firearms for law-abiding citizens. They're all into that. The PNM and Stuart Young are all in the pocket of a young family. They're all in the pocket of a young family. I ain't calling no names, you know. They're in the pocket. Are they? Tell us, Anil, in the pocket of the criminals. Because they are all incompetent. They're all insensitive. They're all inhumane. That is, they're all in the PNM. Vote them out, yes. These MPs, Stuart Young, are all involved in giving away the country to Daddy Young's financiers. Face it, you know. Don't take God out your thoughts. They're all involved in wrecking our economy. They're all involved in closing down Petrotrain. Don't ever forget that. Who blew the light out that used to be at that Petrotrain refinery in Point Bay? Who blew the light out? It was Rowley and Stuart Young. Rowley and Stuart Young. They are all involved in overseeing over 5,000 plus murders. They're all involved in striking off over 60,000 businesses from the company's register. All of them, Stuart Young and all of them, they were all involved in making sure their party members did not have a vote in their own internal election because they had none. Stuart Young and the financiers are financing the pop-up parties. I told you that before. And their daddies are all in denial. Have they forgotten about their last 10 years in crime, the crime for 10 years? Did they forget about 10 years of suffering? Did they forget the last 10 years of neglect? Did they forget about the hard times in the last 10 years? No amount of weak, cosmetic slogan, last-minute monetary gifts can make citizens forget the real damage that Stuart Young and his gang have inflicted on the people of Trinidad and Tobago. His latest gimmick is this ministry of what? Implementation and efficiency. So This is a public admission by Stuart Young that for almost 10 years they had no efficiency. No efficiency. They didn't implement anything. They failed during the 10 years. If you're now coming now 10 years later, that is an admission. Stuart Young and his gang were incompetent for the past 10 years. The nerve and the gall of this man to so shamelessly declare such a ministry as if he has found the solution to all the country's problems. Well, the only solution on the 28th, cast your vote for the UNC. Cast your votes for coalition partners, the PP. Make sure and vote, you know, make sure. Make sure you come out on the 28th. I met somebody when I was walking in, and he told me his birthday is on the 28th. So let's give him a happy birthday, a birthday gift. I'm one of our councillors. Well, my birthday is before the 28th, so let us make sure I get my birthday gift on the 28th. And all of us celebrating birthdays in April and in May. We can then celebrate. So this latest gimmick, we have to remove this incompetent, wicked government. As I come to the end of what I have to say, I want you to know you are now just a couple days away from a brighter future. A couple days away from a future with a UNC and coalition partners, a government comprised of us. We have been putting out our plans, our policies and programs for months. We plan to work for you so that you win and we all win together. I said we will reintroduce laptop program. And I promise for all of TNT, we will open that Debe UWI campus, man. Why every student from Point 14, Mayero, the whole of the south, has to drive up to St. Augustine? Why they have to go and pay rent to stay when they could stay in their homes and go right here, Point 14, Labre? Point 14 candidate there or Labre candidate, you can just stay there in your home. And that highway, what Rudy called it, the mosquito crack. We started that highway to Point 14. Let us make sure we will complete the highway to Point 14, so Point 14 and Labre and others can come up here. We will again take out the VAT on basic food items. We did it once, we can do it again. We'll bring back the baby grant for mothers. We'll stop the PNM's cashless society crap. Sorry, nonsense. Cashless society. Don't laugh. We will stop it. Thank you. And we'll roll out other people-centered initiatives to ensure children, parents, families reduce their burdens on their pockets. Young talks about a new chapter, but that new chapter is filled with the same old wicked cabinet members. What's new in Camille Robinson Regis? Same people. What's new in Hines? What's new with Imbud, Rohan, Faris, Diaz, Foster? It's the same old, same old, same old. So what new you're talking about? The only thing new will come for you, Stuarty, is when you get the licking of your life on April 28th. They have demonstrated they intend to use the same incompetent, wicked MPs. They failed in every portfolio, but you bring them back. Why did Stuart Young keep all of Rowley's ministers? Why do you think he kept all of them? Why do you think he kept? Because Rowley and Stuart Young are one and the same. They're two sides of the same coin. They are joined at the hip. Stuart Young is bolted to the chest of Rowley, and Rowley is bolted to the chest of Stuart Young. On the 29th, when we install the new cabinet, Our country will see some of the best minds in the world serving in their various portfolios. They will have all the support they need to succeed. So if they're not getting the job done, they will be replaced. We have a lot of work to do to bring our country back to a place of peace and progress. As the saying goes, as we announced our candidates today, and I have a few more to surprise you with, good people, they say, hurry bird, don't build good nest. So those people keep saying, but where are the candidates? Name them, name them, name them. Hurry bird, don't build good nest. We have taken our time to screen over 200 candidates, and we released the candidates in the marginals, and they've been out there working. Some of them, you saw them tonight. We screened about 200 persons. We deliberated accordingly. We took the time to select the best candidates to represent your interests. But we'll have space for everyone to serve when we all work together and win together. So our opponents must not dictate our pace. We are in charge, and we will do the right thing by you. We are strategic. We are highly focused. We are well prepared. We will roll out our candidates as we plan it every day between now and nomination day. All candidates will be registered on nomination day. Don't be afraid. They will all be inside, and you can vote for them. They will be there according to the constitutional requirements. I don't know about our opponents, but we follow the Constitution, and they will be all inside. For those who do not get selected, and which is already happening, they're complaining and they're crying all over the country. I want to share something with you. I know it's getting late, but I have to share this story with you. I met with a group of lawyers yesterday who have committed to help us. I want to thank all those lawyers who came out yesterday at the headquarters. They have agreed to assist in the campaign. Okay. Joy. God is great and my health is fine. I'm perfectly fine. Joy don't want me walking all over the place. She want me to take my medicine and stay home. My health is fine, Joy. Thank you. So let me tell you this, a story. In 1995, the UNC formed the government. And I was the first woman to be appointed the substantive Attorney General. Before that, you had AGs, women, but they were only acting persons. I was the first substantive AG. And well, people happy like Papi, I was happy like Papi too. But that was a 10-day appointment. Some of you will remember. It was a 10-day appointment. I'm sitting in the parliament, Mr. Pandey sitting next to me. He said, Minister, we go in our president house to swear in the new Attorney General. What? Okay. Okay. That's my party leader. It's my party. And during that sit-in, the PNM knew the members on the other side was throwing words at me. Well, I too nice and I too innocent. They were saying, hey, you gone, woman, you gone. I didn't know. That time, in the parliament in the afternoon, we going up to President's house at 6 p.m. All right, I sit down a while, get my composure. Then I run outside and I pick up my phone, I go in the washroom and I call Greg. Greg, boy. And I told him. He said, Kamala, you get the hell out of there. As my husband, with his love and care and support, you get the hell out of there. Leave all of them alone. But I never did that. I never did it. Never did it. I did not betray my party. I didn't get then what I thought I deserved or what I had. But I didn't go all about crying and complaining like some people do now. And we'll see a few more of them when the seats are all named. We'll see some more. did not betray my party, I want to remind you. And when I was moved, I was put in a ministry that did not exist as a standalone ministry. It was always Attorney General and Legal Affairs. For the first time, a ministry named Ministry of Legal Affairs. I was put in that ministry. But God don't sleep. God only wears pajamas. Don't sleep. And when I went, that whole building, the Winshaw building, was Attorney General's office and Legal Affairs. I was on the top floor of that building, boy. And I think you told me who is in Winshaw building now, Dev? The DPP's office is there now. Anyway, when I became Minister of Legal Affairs, there was no portfolio because it never existed. And I was given one office, one desk, and one chair, and one secretary outside. You all don't know. Sometimes I feel to cry when I remember it, but they cannot break me. They will never ever bend or break me. I stayed with my party. One desk, one chair, one office for me, and one secretary outside. But I tell you, God don't sleep, he only wears pajamas, because from that, I learned how to build a ministry from one desk, one chair, one office, into an entire ministry, which stands as a ministry on its own. I built it. I learned how it is you work to get staffing, how it is you work to get equipment, how it is to get personnel. I learned from scratch. So that inside here, and that not coming out until the good Lord calls me. What you say? Yonder. Call me behind yonder. It's here. So I know the workings of government inside out. Indeed, in 2010, when we went into the cabinet, I believe I was the only person with cabinet experience. I think Dukran might have also had that experience in that cabinet in 2010. And as I've shared with you, we did so much. So remember Kamla, the girl from Saparia, one office, one chair, one desk, and one secretary became the first woman Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. So if today you do not get what you think you deserve and you want, there is always tomorrow. There is real hope in the UNC and the PEP and the coalition. Don't live for today as this is the last day in this regard, that because you didn't get the seat, you had to run out there and get your name in the papers and things. I think someone else just wanted to see the face in a newspaper or on a TV, you know? So don't get chained up with that. There is always tomorrow. And when the UNC wins, everybody wins. We will take care of you, everybody. And therefore, April 28th now, we will mark that day. They say mark that down, April 28th. On that day, we must see that our nation stood together and answered the call to save our country, to rescue our country. April 20th is the day we must cross ranks. We must choose light over darkness. We must choose sunshine over blood. Choose sunshine over blood on the streets. That will be the day that you choose your future over your past. That will be the day when people choose love over hate. That must be the day you show courage and no fear. Show courage and no fear. That is the day we stand up for ourselves side by side. We will stand up shoulder to shoulder with boldness and confidence. Boldness and confidence. April 28th must be the day we say no to a bully. No to the bullying. And we must make sure we are not replacing the raging bull with the bully. We must make sure. We must make sure we do not replace the raging bull that was Rowley with the bully that is Stuart Young. We must make sure it is that day, on that day, we must end all these Stuart Young and gangmen, his gang of people. All of them, we must put an end to them. On that day, the sun will rise and shine its light on all of us. I tell you before, with the candidates, I have 3 candidates more to mention, which will bring us up to 19. So you've already seen and heard 19 minus 4, 18. All right, I added 1, so 19. So I'll ask in this moment, before I announce the candidates, I'll ask Anil or Mikey, we have 1 more candidate from the Love Movement to be announced. Is he available? Who will do it? Mikey?
All right, with the Love Movement, we're representing your candidate for Laventille West, Mr. Robert Mitchell.
When UNC wins, everybody wins. When UNC wins, Trinbago wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. Tell your neighbor, tell your friend, now is the time to rise and shine. Tell your mother, tell your father, now is the time to decide. If you want to lead.
So Laventille is in the house. Give him a round of applause. I have 3 more candidates to announce as UNC candidates. The first one is our sister, daughter to some, from Maruga Tableland, Michelle Benjamin.
When UNC wins, everybody wins. When UNC wins, Trinbago wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. When UNC wins, everybody wins. When UNC wins, Trinbago wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins.
Our candidate for 2025, April 28, for St. Augustine, Khadija Amin.
Everybody wins. When UNC wins, Trinbago wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. Tell your neighbor, tell your friend, now is the time. Tell your mother, tell your father, now is the time to decide. If you want leaders who can build, place your ex by the rising sun. If you want leaders who can lead properly, place your ex by the rising sun. On election day, vote UNC. One love, one team, one hope, one dream. On election day, vote UNC.
And roaring in from Oropouche East is the lion himself, Rudal Munilal.
UNC wins, everybody wins. When UNC wins, Trinbago wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. Tell your neighbor, tell your friend, now is the time to rise and shine. Tell your mother, tell your father, now is the time to decide. If you want leaders who can build, place your ex by the rising sun. If you want leaders who can lead properly, place your ex by the rising sun. On election day, vote UNC. One love, one team.
Thank you very much. Thank you. So that is our slate of candidates for this time. As I told you, we are prepared. We'll be rolling out our other candidates before nomination day, of course. And okay, let me thank you again very much. I want you to give a special round of applause to Professor Selwyn Cudjoe, who is in our audience tonight. Thank you, Prof. Thank you so much. So as I leave, now I'll ask all candidates to make their way on stage. All the named candidates to make your way on stage, please. Come on this side. Oh, it's crowded there. All right, I get the pep lady. You spoke very well. I listened. Okay, guys. As I bid farewell for just for now, to you all I say, thank you again. And remember, I end as I began. You have had leaders before me. You will have leaders after me. But you will never, ever have a leader who loves you as much as I do. When UNC wins, when UNC wins, when UNC wins, everybody wins. Thank you.
When UNC wins, everybody wins. When UNC wins, Trinbago wins. Trinbago wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. Tell your neighbor, tell your friend, now is the time to rise and shine. Tell your mother, tell your father, now is the time to decide. If you want leaders who can build, place your ex by the rising sun. If you want leaders who can lead properly, place your ex by the rising sun. On election day, vote UNC. One love, one team, one hope, one dream. On election day, vote UNC. One love, one team, one hope, one dream. When UNC wins, everybody wins. When UNC wins.
Folks, we ask that you please stay for the performance. We have the performance coming up. Live entertainment. Oh, we have over 100,000 views. Give yourself a round of applause.
UNC wins, everybody wins. When UNC wins, Trinbago wins.
And we want to thank the fire services and members of the TTPS. Thank you.
Tell your neighbor, tell your friend, now is the time to rise and shine. Tell your mother, tell your father, now is the time to decide. If you want leaders who can build, place your ex by the rising sun. If you want leaders who can lead properly, place your ex by the rising sun. On election day, vote UNC. One love, one team, one hope, one dream.
And it has been told us by the members of the TTPS and fire services that we have thousands of people present here tonight. Wonderful job. Folks, at this time, I want to bring on stage a young man to perform. Please put your hands together and welcome Stubby Rant. All right, make some room for Stubby. Make some room for Stubby.
Team, come forward.
Stubby, you have the mic, right? You have the mic? Lovely. All right.
Coming through, coming through.
All right, Stubby, you go ahead.
Good afternoon, my UNC people. Auntie Camilla, nice to meet you.
They say we not ready, but long time we waiting on them. Stubby ranks again, alongside my UNC friends. We come to get rid of them. And what that?
Our that. Rollies and the whole country down a track. Don't see a junk come finish machine down flat. We give the people food, can they make that stop? We give the children laptop, they take that back. Now watch the bully, him on the attack. Only poor people are him a combat. So let me tell you how to fix that. Get rid of them. Rollie and all even. Get rid of them. And everybody want better men. Get rid of them. And this year we don't want no problem. So we rolling with the UNC them. Get rid of them. If you hear me grandparents, get rid of them. Down to all the little children, get rid of them. Cause everybody want better men. And we rolling with the UNC them. And when they come talk about property tax, the rich done rich, and that is a fact. Only the poor ones know I feel the impact. We selling water, say him a watch that. Him tax all the parlor, tax all the shop. In the grocery, him not stop raise fat. It's like he was eating that job flat. So here what we go do about that? Get rid of them. Even get rid of them. Everybody want better men, get rid of them. But this year we don't want no problems, so we rolling with the UNC them. Get rid of them. If you hear me grandparents, get rid of them. Down to all the little children, get rid of them. To everybody that's suffering, and we rolling with the UNC them. The UK government under the PNM, 10 years pass and no improvement. You see the UK government under the PNM, they lock down the country like a basement. Them the train and they never fix that. I tell them how the road PNM no come back. Only when you want we vote at them a run back. Election done and we can't contact. Get rid of them. Stuart Young and the whole PNM. Get rid of them. Cause everybody want better men. Get rid of them. And this year we don't want no problems and me rolling with the UNC them. Get rid of them. If you hear me grandparents, get rid of them. Down to all the little children, get rid of them. Cause everybody want better men. And me rolling with the UNC them. Our that. Rollies and the whole country down a track. No sweat young comfy finish mash it down flat. We give the people food, can they make that stop? We give the children laptop, they take that back. Now watch the bully, him on the attack. Only poor people are him a combat. So let me tell you how to fix that. Get rid of them. Get rid of them. The whole PNM. Get rid of them. Cause everybody want better men. Get rid of them. And this year we don't want no problems than me rolling with the UNC them. Get rid of them. If you hear me grandparents, get rid of them. Down to all the little children, get rid of them. Cause everybody want better men on me rolling with the UNC them. Our that. Rollies and the whole country down a track. Let him Stuart Young coulda bring it back. Half a ignorance, know them a hack. We give the people food, can they make that stop? We give the children laptop, they take that back. Now watch the bully, him on the attack. Tack. Love you. Love in the house.
Hold on there, stop.
Before I go, I want the crowd to say one thing with me. What the feel is that? I want her to say, get rid of them. On the count of 3. We go in on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Get rid of them! Love all you. Love in the house.
So you're done?
You're done now?
You're done?
Yes, sir.
Now we give you a little bit more now. Give me a little bit more.
You want a little more?
When it's nice, it has to be done twice.
All right.
And when it's good stuff, once is never enough.
We'll
come again.
Don't request it again.
Long time we waiting on them. Stop the ranks again.
Stop the ranks again,
alongside
man.
my UNC friends.
All my UNC friends.
Come to get rid of them.
Our that. Rollies and the whole country down a track. No Stuart Young comfy finish mash it down flat. We give the people food, can they make that stop? We give the children laptop, they take that back. Now watch the bully, him on the attack. Only poor people are him a combat. So let me tell you how to fix that. Get rid of them.
Stuart Young and the whole of PNM.
Get rid of them.
Cause everybody want better men.
Get rid of them.
And this year we don't want no problems.
So we rolling with the UNC them. Get rid of them.
If you
see me grandparents,
get rid of them. Down to all the little children, get rid of them. Cause
everybody want better men, so we rolling with the UNC them. And when them come talk about property tax, the rich done rich, and that is a fact. Only the poor ones now have the impact. You selling water, say him a watch that. Him tax all the parlor, tax all the shop. In the grocery, him not stop raise VAT. It's like he go do about that. So yeah, what we go do about that? Get rid of them. Stuart Young and all our friends, get rid of them. Everybody want better men, get rid of them. Cause this year we no want no problems. So we rolling with the UNC them, get rid of them. If you hear me grandparents, get rid of them. Down to all the little children, get rid of them. Too long Trinidad suffering, so we rolling with the UNC them. You see the Duke government under the PNM, at 10 years past and no improvement. You see the Duke government under the PNM, they lock down the country like a basement. Show them the train and they never fix that. I tell them about the road, PNM no come back. Only when they want we vote at them and run back. Election done now, we can't contact. Get rid of them. Stuart Young and the whole PNM, get rid of them. Cause everybody want better men, get rid of them. And this year we don't want no problems, and me rolling with the UNC them. Get rid of them. If you hear me grandparents, get rid of them. Down to all the little children, get rid of them. Cause everybody want better men, and me rolling with the UNC them. Our that, our that, our that, our that. Roll it and the whole